50 yards over the fence. Yes, sir.
I'm so glad we.
You played golf with him this week?
Hey, Lenny, won't you sit down?
I just got
I'm
back.
coming.
He's on his way.
I'm walking, yes, indeed. Oh.
Please excuse Mr. Fryman. All right, we'll call the first meeting to order tonight is the City of Lawrenceburg Board of Works meeting for July 1st, 2024. Roll call, Mr. Fetty.
Yeah, we got Board Member Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Board Member Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
City Attorney Dale Will.
Here.
President Kelly Malone.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, and any announcements, guys? I don't have anything for this particular meeting.
I have none, Mayor.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
Yep.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Mr. Todd, we've got a few things here from you.
Yes, sir.
Downtown street sign quotes.
Yes, sir. We went out and got 3 quotes. They're in your package for the downtown street signs to be identical to what we just installed up on Ludlow Hill. The 3 quotes came from Green Sign out of Greensburg, Indiana, which they came in at $151,189. Second quote is from Signorama at $140,525.64. The third was the Sign Store at $168,433.62. So the low was our local Signorama. Is there any questions with those quotes?
This is the same, where our guys are going to do the
Demo
demo, and then they're going to follow back up with the installation.
with the install,
Okay.
correct.
All right.
Correct.
Okay.
So the low would have been $140,525.64 from Signorama.
Questions, gentlemen?
I have none, Mayor.
If none, then I'd entertain a motion to approve the quote from Signorama at $140,525.64. Any idea when they can start on this?
We're looking to probably start in October.
Okay, good. Okay,
That way all our events are pretty well finished for the year and kind of going into the winter months.
that'd be great. Those will look nice. It'll be like the ones up on the hill.
I think you already had.
Okay. All in favor?
We didn't know yes or A or nay and that yet.
I said all in favor?
We haven't made the motion, Mayor.
Motion to approve Signorama at $140,525.64.
Yeah, so moved, Mayor.
All right.
I'll second that,
All
Mayor.
right. Now, all in favor?
Aye, Mayor.
Look what happens when he misses one meeting.
Opposed? Opposed?
It ain't me this time.
Motion carries. Thank you, guys. Thanks for setting me straight, Tommy.
It's all right, Mayor.
Like Mr. Fetty mentioned, that money was a part of the most recent.
Additional appropriations, yes,
Yep.
that we did last meeting, correct?
Okay. Next item is Buckeye Power PM agreement renewal. This is our yearly.
Yes, Your Honor. The LMU portion of this is $3,980. The city portion would be $5,315. And this is for our standby generators at various locations throughout the city.
And for clarification, Mario, this is something that you and Mr. Kennett started back in '21 because we didn't have anything in place.
Correct, correct.
So now, we did a 3-year then, and we're doing a 3-year this.
This is the rollover from the first 3 years, yes.
Yep.
Okay, you said that LMU's portion is $39.80?
Correct.
Okay. Is there, I think I'd like to take this, I'd like to do an approval for city, and then do an approval during the USB meeting for the USB portion. Is that okay with you?
Sure.
Director Mario?
That's fine, that's fine.
What was the city's number again, Mario? I'm sorry.
The city portion would be $5,315.
Okay. Buckeye Power.
And I would like to say this is a program that has paid dividends because before Mario put this contract in place, those generators, they were somewhat being serviced, but not like they are now.
Right.
At first, they started finding some pretty severe problems with them, and now that we've been through this a few cycles now, the repairs are minimal and the generators are in good shape. We have made a lot of repairs to them. Generators are one of those things, you don't need them until you need them, and when you need them, you sure rely on them.
Better be running.
So this has been a great program.
Okay, so I'd entertain a motion to approve the agreement with Buckeye for $5,315 for
The city's part?
city side part of it.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The motion carries. Thank you, guys. Next item is Ludlow Hill Park pickleball quotes. Good one.
Yes, Your Honor, we went out to get 3 quotes to redo the existing tennis courts to turn them into pickleball, at least 2 pickleball courts and 1 full tennis court. The bidders were All Star Paving, which came in at $97,934. Dave O'Mara Company at $106,950. Paul Rowe Company, $76,234. Paul Rowe being the low contractor, we'd ask for approval.
Question I have, are we taking just one side of the tennis courts and making it pickleball?
Yeah, we're taking one of the full courts
Okay.
and creating 2 pickleball courts out of it, yes.
So my question is, what do we have to do to that, to actually make it a pickleball court?
Size-wise, the city's,
Restripe.
yeah, the footprint stays the same, but as if you guys have been up, our asphalt's in pretty sad shape, so it's gonna be a total demo, which the city folks are gonna do some of the work ourselves to try to save some money there.
You can see it's pretty in depth on what they're doing to get it prepared for that.
Yeah.
This 76,000 does not, or does include the
It's coating.
nets and the striping.
Yes, it's coating, striping, nets.
Okay.
All included,
Okay,
yes.
so that's included in all
Yes.
that. Okay, just want to make sure.
Time-wise, we may go with temporary striping to get through the winter, then they're coming back the spring to do the finish coating,
This, you said they could start on this in,
probably within the next 2 weeks, yes.
okay. And this is in this year's budget, correct?
The pickleball for the.
Yeah.
Yes.
or-
I think we
Hill,
budgeted
yes.
$100,000.
Yep, it's in the budget.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Are those courts all gonna be going the same way, same direction?
The pickleball,
Yeah.
To the tennis?
well, it's a perfect square, so it doesn't, as
I
far
mean,
as
has
direction.
has anybody seen the layout?
No, no.
Yeah,
What
we-
I think
we-
what I imagine is tennis court like this, pickleball.
Yeah.
We're going to put
Yes.
something in the middle.
Is that right?
Well, that's what I was wondering, because those pickleballs are gonna be all over the place.
Yeah,
Well, there's a fence actually goes in between the,
Yeah.
there's a 4-foot fence that separates the,
Divider.
Oh, okay. I'm with you now. That makes sense.
Especially when we play pickleball.
I don't know if it'd be the
Hey.
pickleball to worry about or the tennis.
And Lenny would always get the short side of the fence. He would never walk all the way all the way across the tennis courts to get to pickleballs.
I always say one thing, if I was up there playing tennis and you all was playing pickleball, I know where that tennis ball's going. Not on purpose, it's just probably accident.
well, there's cameras up there, Lenny, so be careful.
I know.
I hope 2's enough.
Yeah, well.
We'll find
the plan
out.
is to put a couple downtown next spring.
find
out.
But yeah, we know that
Yep.
it's a booming business, that's for sure. Okay, looks like, so the recommendation is for Rowe at $76,234, correct, Mario?
Yes, sir?
All right. Any other questions from the guys?
I have none.
If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the proposal from Rowe for the pickleball courts and the resurfacing at $76,234.
So moved, Mayor.
Second?
I'll second it, Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, next item is HWC Engineering for the CCMG 2024-2.
And this is our, we've been very successful in our grant seeking. This is to engage HWC for the one we actually have in process now. As far as getting pricing, they handle all our grant soliciting, our estimating, and engineering on it.
But this will be for the 2024-2.
For the -2, correct, correct.
Okay.
Which would be finishing up the east side streets.
Okay. Questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the memorandum of agreement with HWC Engineering at $30,500,
So move, Mayor.
not to exceed. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
While we're on, speaking of streets, I know you probably shoot out of here before we do streets, alley, curbs.
No, I'm gonna stick around for utility for the,
Okay, but I was going to bring up council. When they did the, let me, hold on just a minute, I got it wrote down here. When they did the CCMG to 2023-1, that was front and center. At the corner of center and front, the valve boxes, the concrete is deteriorating around them.
front and center.
Center, yeah. I mean, they're pretty bad.
We'll take a look at
At
right
front and
there by the
center,
city
Tom?
garage.
Yep. I mean, they're crumbling pretty bad.
At the city garage there.
Yep, yep. You go by there and it almost looks like someone must have dumped a bunch of salt and then pulled away. But they're-
Would this be on the section that did not get paved on the center?
No, it's paved and
On front.
they redid the valve boxes as well when they did that.
No, we'll take a look at those
Yep.
tomorrow.
Yep, they're pretty bad. So, yeah, I wanted to bring that up before you got out of here.
Got it. Nope, make note of it, sir.
Thank you.
Good, thank you. I've got one thing that's not on it. It came up here, I was asked about it today. If you guys remember, we had a maintenance position that got filled at the city. It was filled by one of our laborers, and that was Gene Lee. And so I'm asking for permission tonight for Human Resources to post a labor position to backfill the one we're losing.
So that's where Mr. Lee went into the building maintenance.
Yes, sir.
Yep, gotcha.
Yeah,
So we did lose another laborer again.
yeah. So it's not adding one, it's just
Right, just
replacing.
replacing him.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've
Any
got
questions?
No.
Can I get a motion to give HR the approval to post that?
Yeah, so move, Mayor.
Second?
All second, Mayor.
So real quick, just so I'm understanding this, so we're gonna have, so basically Gene Lee took the position of maintenance, which was a
Building
new
maintenance.
position.
That was a new position.
So so there's not any money budgeted for this labor.
For the building
The
maintenance.
difference between yes, there is not.
So
The difference
we will
between-
have to do an additional for that I'm just trying to get this in my head straight because I didn't know about this. All right. So basically, we're gonna have to do an appropriation for a position then.
For the building maintenance, because your labor money will already be there to fulfill the year.
You just got to do Mark
Right.
will have to do the difference in the amount
Okay.
that he was making as a laborer compared to the amount he's making
Yep.
as a building
I just wanted to get it
maintenance.
straight in my head.
Yep. And this position is covering his position, which is already budgeted. Got
Okay.
it?
How soon would something like that be filled? So I'm just wondering how fast I have to do
Just-
something.
He's started today.
Well, I know, yeah.
No, he's talking about the back, the labor.
Oh, she'll post it probably tomorrow, I'd say, next
Okay.
5 days.
And what'll happen is, there will probably, we don't know, I'm gonna say this, but probably won't be anybody internally sign it. It would go out externally. So then that would be additional weeks. So
Yeah.
it might be a little.
Yeah, I probably should have had it on the last additional.
I think
I don't know what I was thinking.
We'll be all right.
So, all right. Just
Take it
wanted to
out
get that straight.
Wednesday.
Lenny keeps on bobbing.
I apologize, not putting you up to speed with that. I thought you were aware of that.
That one slipped by me.
Slipped by, yep, I got you.
Okay, so can I get a motion to post?
You already did, didn't you?
Yeah.
I'll second, Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. That's all the new business I've got for Board of Works and no old business tonight. Can I get a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, next meeting called order tonight is the Lawrenceburg Utility Board for July 1st, 2024. We need a roll call, Mr. Betty.
All right, we got board member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Board Member Dylan Little.
Present.
Board Member Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Board Member Lenny Fryman.
Here.
Board Member Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
We got Utility Director Billy Kennett.
Here.
We got City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
President Kelly Malone.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, any announcements, Director?
Yes, sir. So I wanted to make an announcement. One of our Lawrenceburg alumni is actually a great friend of mine, Doug Canoe. His boy Tanner has signed a contract with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as a wide receiver. And he went to Eastern Michigan and had a great career there. He didn't get drafted, but the day after the draft, the Buccaneers called him and he signed a 3-year contract. He went to rookie camp and made it through that. And then they had their mini camp and he made it through that. And so in a couple weeks, he'll be going to the regular camp. And so we're all on the Tanner Canoe bandwagon, sporting the jersey. And, you know, it's funny how things work because he had 9 teams interested in him, and none of the 9 contacted him. The Buccaneers was the only, they had not contacted him prior to the draft process, and they called him the day after the draft, and they signed a contract that day, and it's just amazing. But the Buccaneers play the Bengals in the first preseason game in Paul Brown Stadium. So, you know, I called Doug, and he's like, don't even try to get tickets from me because I only get 2. And so we did get online. We went on StubHub, and, you know, there's a bunch of us that have tickets and going up there. So
Good deal.
just a neat thing, you know, to see somebody work that hard and to be that successful, and the dedication it takes to perform at the elite level. You know, we have Mason, we have JR, you know, and it just really neat from a small town like this to see those accomplishments.
Good deal. Jersey looks good on you, Bill.
Yeah, how about that?
Maybe you could get a tryout.
We thought you were going for a second career.
Yeah, those days are gone.
Yeah.
Passed you up, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
That's all.
Any other announcements?
that's all I have.
Okay. Hey, I'll entertain a motion then to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So move.
Second?
I'll second it, Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business, first item, asking for permission. As we know, Mr. Kennett is going to retire in September. So I'd like to get permission from this group to start posting for that position, sort of countrywide. So it's going to take a little time. So I guess that's what I'm asking for. Any questions about that?
If we don't approve it, Mayor, does it mean Billy has to stay?
Yeah.
That's what, Brett, that's what I was gonna say, because I was gonna vote no.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Good question. But if no other comments or whatever, I'll entertain a motion to give HR the ability to post for a utility director.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
I'll second.
Second, Dylan?
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, next item is Director Kennett, you got Bodie Drive Lift Station Engineering Study.
Yes, sir. We, let's see where it's at, right here. So we, as part of our capital plan, we are really addressing a lot of our sewer lift stations and some of the needs and things that need to be done with this. On Bodie Drive, there's a lift station that's at the end of Bodie Drive in the cul-de-sac, and that lift station actually sits in the pavement of the cul-de-sac, and the controls being over in the yard beside of it. It's just I guess I can say this, it was a really bad design, and I don't know who put that in there, but to put a lift station in a roadway like that just makes no sense. And so we came up with an idea of how we can do away with that lift station. And we have to work with 3 landowners in that area to be able to reroute their sewer and put a sewer grinder pump in there. We've contacted the landowners to make sure that they're okay with what we want to do. And all 3 of them are on board with what we want to do. So this is part of what we're doing with BF&S Engineering, where they will take and design. With this, what we have to do with the engineering design is not only design the new sewer laterals, the grinder pumps, but also the electric to the grinder pumps. And LMU would put the grinder pumps in and put the electric service in, and then the customer would maintain and own all of that equipment going forward. So there's a study that we have to do, an engineering study in the electric panels of each one of these 3 residents to make sure there's the capacity there and how we're going to get the electric and do all that. So BF&S will do the engineering of the new sewer laterals, the grinder pumps, and the electric for all 3 residents. And then they'll prepare the bid documents and we'll put it out for bid. And then they'll help us manage the project through that process. So
Mr. Kennett, real quick.
yes,
When you and I spoke of this, right now we have 2 houses that are on grinder pumps that dump into this manhole in the road. It's a lift station, and then 3 that gravity drain in it, correct?
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll tie those other 2 in as well
Yeah.
to the force
Yeah,
main,
we'll
so to speak,
bypass
into the next
the
manhole.
existing lift station
Gotcha.
for those 2 houses.
So all we have to do there is add piping
Yeah.
to theirs to go to that
Yeah.
next
just to
manhole.
Get it up top to the manhole. So the price from BF&S to do the engineering and the bid documents is $31,700. So the recommendation would be to approve the agreement with BF&S for this project.
That's a not to exceed number.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Questions? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agreement between Lawrenceburg Utility Board and BF&S for the Bodie Drive Lift Station study in a not to exceed number of $31,700.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next is the Skid Street hydraulic breaker.
Yeah, so there's a spelling error on there. It should be skid steer hydraulic breaker.
Yeah.
And we went out for pricing on this. The existing breaker that we have is in disrepair. And so we did get a quote from Bobcat to do the repairs. And to repair what we have now was $6,939.74. We did get quotes from Bobcat and John Deere on a new breaker, and the cost of the new one, Bobcat, was $9,916.32, and John Deere was $10,600. Tommy had asked a question on the Bobcat quote, the loader mounting frame, since we already had an existing breaker, do we need that mounting frame? And I called Bobcat, and it's listed as a separate item, but it's really part of the assembly. So, and he said, I don't even know why they break it out, because you have to have it as part of that assembly. So, recommendation is to purchase a new breaker and to use the low bid of Bobcat for $9,916.32.
But I just have a question. Looking at the email you sent out that was attached to this from the technician, I guess, they said they had 7 hours of labor of $980. If we buy this from them, are they willing to subtract?
I think it said that in the email.
I didn't see that.
I thought I read that. It's been a while since I've looked at this, but I thought they said, well, we may have to pay that
Unless I
because that
missed
was,
it.
that seems like a lot though, but we can ask them that.
When they had like 7 hours and $980.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might just want to ask them, hey, would you,
I think maybe,
if we buy this new one, would you erase the amount we owe for the testing of the one that you know?
I think, because Brad brought these quotes to me, and I think when he said that is, they said they would deduct the 980 if we bought it, but it's been 2 or 3 weeks
Okay.
since we've talked about that.
It's something to ask about. I don't know. It doesn't say it in the email, but,
Yeah.
you know.
And, you know, one other thing, this breaker is something that LMU is purchasing, but it's shared throughout. You know, the city uses it quite a bit and everything on the skid steer. So
We appreciate
it's
you
a-
purchasing.
It's a,
Thank you.
it's a shared item as part of that.
Where's it located? Where would the new one be located? Like, be
the
shipped
breaker.
from? Do you know?
Huh?
Where they're gonna ship it from?
I don't know. I didn't check to see if it was in stock or if it's,
Is it
shipped-
North Dakota? Or is it up in Westchester at the Bobcat?
Yeah, this quote is from, up there at Westchester.
I wonder if it's at Westchester, I mean, okay. Are they charging us $342 to get it down here? Or could we go pick it up?
That's probably just a charge from North Dakota plant to there.
Yeah.
Because, you know, we've been looking at that with Christina over at, you know, if there's times when we can go to Cincinnati and pick it up
Yeah.
and save our $300 delivery fee, we're doing it.
Yeah, and Christina put these
Yeah, I'm
quotes
sure she
together,
did.
so,
Okay. Okay.
so I'm not sure how she,
Okay,
the negotiations on
no
it.
problem.
Billy, I'm fine with buying a new one. What does that mean for the old one though? If it's looking at $7,000 in
Yeah,
repairs?
it's shot. You
Okay.
know, it's to the point where it's not even worth messing with. You know, when you can pay a couple $1,000s more.
Yeah.
get it-
No, I get it, especially something that's used. I understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve the purchase of the new breaker for the skid steer
So move.
at $9,916.32.
Now I'll so move.
Okay, second.
Second, Mayor.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is water sewer SCADA fiber communications.
Yes, sir. We have been in the process of, right now, we have radio communications on our water SCADA system, and we want to get that moved over to fiber. We've actually been working on this for about 1.5 years now. And the first quote that, and we're working with Bryson and Steve on this, and the first quote that came back was just astronomical. It was over 100,000. I can't put my fingers on it right now, how much it was, but I went back to Bryson, and I was like, this is way too much. You know, for this, we'll just keep the radios, $189,232.92, which is crazy high. So the reason it's taken so long is we've looked at different types of technology, and Bryson's done all this. And he actually got it narrowed down, and so he worked a combination bid. So we found different equipment that will do the same thing. And so he put together a spreadsheet. One bid was a combination of CDW and Jacobs Telecommunications. The other one was Wesco and Annixter combined for everything we need. The CW CDW and Jacobs was $29,459.22, and Wesco Annixter was $26,359. So that's we're much better off with this offering. You know, sure beats a heck out of almost a couple $100,000 for this, and to get the price down to $26,359. This will allow us, this is the 3 wells over at the fairground, the 2 sewer flow monitors we put in, and the rain gauge at the elevated tank. That gets it on our fiber ring. So the recommendation is for the Wesco Annixter quote of $26,359.
Billy, we're buying the fiber and the computer sensors, and then our folks are doing the installation, is that right? They're gonna install the line.
The
Bryson and,
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a combination. We worked with the electric crew and with Bryson and Steve, and actually City Garage has helped us to mount the brackets that we need, and so it's been a combined effort to keep this cost down as much as we can.
I think it's a good thing to do that where we can.
Yeah, and it'll be so much better once we have it. It's better protected, you know, as far as cybersecurity. There's just a lot of benefits to have it on that fiber ring. A lot more reliable, a lot faster. There's a lot of really good things about this.
any other questions? If not, entertain a motion to approve the bid that we have for the SCADA fiber communications with Annixter at $26,359.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second it, Mayor.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the other item on new business that came up earlier, I would like to ask for a motion to approve Buckeye Power PM agreement in the amount of $3,980 for the PM agreement. That's for LMU.
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. No other new business? We have old business, looks like mulching head for the skid steer.
Yes, sir. I brought this in front of you the last utility board meeting. This is for a forestry mulching head for the skid steer. We went out for bids on a, let's see, what was the size of that?
One was a 62 and the other was a 74, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was,
Oh, 61 inch.
well, the 61 inch is
The bigger one.
BH 74, yeah. Let me find this real quick. It was the BH 062. So we had worked with Christina to get quotes from 3 different vendors for that BH 062. And then when I called, Cornerstone was a low bid on that. So when I called Cornerstone, they said, to find out the lead time of this, they said, you know, they could sell us the next larger unit at a lesser cost. So the cost of the 062 was $36,800. The next size up is the BH 74 SS, and that was $32,800. So we could get a bigger unit at a lesser cost. And so when I brought that in front of the board, I was asked to go back and get competitive quotes on the BH 74 SS. So we already had Cornerstone's price of $32,800. Brandy's came back at $40,948, and Murphy was at $39,999. So recommendation is to go with a larger sized unit with Cornerstone, which is the 61-inch BH 74 SS for $32,800.
Questions? All right, then I'll entertain a motion to approve the purchase of the mulching head for the skid steer at $32,800 from Cornerstone.
So move.
Second,
I'll second it, Mayor.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, and then an update on final pricing for the sewer meters and rain gauge.
Yeah, so these are the sewer velocity and flow meters that we purchased through GRIP Incorporated as part of the monitoring we wanted to do on the wastewater system. And I wanted to give you an update on this. It was time material not to exceed is the way GRIP had posed this agreement. And there were three different items. It was one item was a 10-inch and 15-inch velocity flow meter. Second item was 5 clamp-on flow meters, and then the rain gauge was the third item. They had proposed a total time material not to exceed of $96,538. Those projects are complete, and they invoiced us for $72,832. So it came in $23,706 under budget. So just wanted to give you an update on that. You know, a lot of times it doesn't happen this way. You know, whatever they propose, that they magically, you know, are able to invoice for that amount. But we was pleasantly surprised that GRIP came back in at $23,000 less. So I just wanted to announce that to the board.
All right. Any other old business?
No, sir.
If not, then I'll entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to approve all payroll reports and checks once properly certified.
I'll make that motion.
Dylan, second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved, Mayor.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Final meeting I'd like to call to order tonight is Lawrenceburg City Council meeting for July 1st, 2024. If everyone could rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. One more time there, Mr. Fetty.
All right, Councilperson Tony Abbott. Here. Councilperson Dylan Little.
Present.
Councilperson Tom Roulette.
Present.
Councilperson Lemmy Fryman.
Here.
Councilperson Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
City Attorney Dale Wilton.
Here.
Mayor Kelly Malone.
Here.
And myself.
Okay. Announcements, board reports, streets, alleys, and curbs, downtown area, Mr. Tony Abbott.
Everything's good.
Streets, alleys, and curbs on the Ludlow Hill region, Mr. Lenny Fryman.
Looks good. Thank you.
Finance Department, Mr. Bondurant.
Nothing to report, Mayor.
Parks and Playgrounds, Mr. Little.
I'd like to give the city workers a shout out for making sure the parks look good. They pressure washed everything, so thank you.
Absolutely.
I'd like to bring something up under the parks, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
I'm getting a lot of complaints from the manager, assistant managers, and moms and dads, and this may sound silly, on the dress code at the pool. The thongs and everything, the parents have got little kids there, and there's a lot of thongs. So I asked if we could make a dress code, and Dale said that we could very well make a dress code. So if we get Dale permission to get with the manager and maybe HR or somebody and come up with a dress code for the pool, because it's not bad.
What if, are you aware of any other public pools having a dress code?
I have no idea.
I've not either. I haven't researched it, but, okay. Maybe we can look around and,
Well, there's a lot of parents don't want to bring their kids there anymore because of it.
okay.
So it's getting to be a problem.
Well, if we can, then Dell, can you take a peek at that, and maybe next meeting, we can have something to look at?
Yes, sir.
That good with
No
everybody?
That's good. Thank you.
Everybody okay with that? Any comments? Okay.
I do have one, that person went down to the pool, and I guess where the little kids, they got that little boat or something there, and she was climbing up, and she slipped down the steps. She was taking her grandkid up there, sprung her ankle and stuff, and she about fell over a little kid. She was just wondering if we could put some, like, I don't know, something on them steps to make them non-slippery. Is there something we could put down there to stop that?
I don't know.
I'm surprised there isn't something on there now.
Yeah, I think there already is, but I'll
They
look
said
at
there's
Mario.
not.
Mario can look into it.
Yeah, that, I mean, I'm just saying, that's what she was telling me, and I said I'd check into her ask.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure there's rubber mats on there.
Yeah.
to Make it kind of non-slip. Last time I was down there, I'm pretty sure that's the case. I'm not 100% sure, but
Yeah.
Same here. I'd be surprised.
Climbing up there and getting
yeah.
That's
I play in the little kid area.
I love that thing.
Well, maybe years and years.
That's one of the complaints Dylan in is Speedos.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what, okay.
Moving on,
Well,
Yeah.
TMI, guys.
moving on.
All right,
I didn't-
okay. Good, okay. Hey, I've lost my train of thought now. All right.
Imagine that.
Fire department, Mayor.
Mr. Rolette.
Nothing to report,
All
Mayor.
right, okay. I got a couple of announcements. Cooling Center remains open. We had said we were going to reevaluate on the 8th, but looking at the extended forecast, we may be extending that to the 15th and then reevaluate. So once Joy gets back, she's on vacation, I'll get it all updated in social media and stuff, but we'll keep looking at that. Wanted to make everybody aware, last Thursday night, Music on the River. We passed the bucket, the police officers did, for Nick Thomas, who is a reserve officer, also the manager here at Mike's Car Wash, fighting, he has stage 3 lung cancer. And I'll tell you what, they responded. Over $6,800 was collected.
That's great.
So, and the Thomas family is very, very appreciative, very appreciative. I just want to let you guys all know that July 12th is the employee picnic down at the Todd Creech Park. Be a kickball tournament. I'm going to have them sign waivers, no workers' comp claims. There'll be like a barbecue cook-off and stuff like that, but you guys are invited. It's around lunchtime. What else? I toured the Liberty Theater, and if you haven't, if you want to, please get in there and tour this. It's unbelievable what has been done inside that building. They're still pushing it September 6th because that's their first concert, I believe. I think Dylan may have an event there in October, but September 6th is what they're looking at, opening weekend. But if you can, get over there and take a look at that. We're meeting with the two potential developers on the pavilion next week, and once that decision's made, it will come back to you guys and have updates and you know, numbers and everything in front of you. So that's all pushing along. So still waiting on permitting from Army Corps and some questions being answered on the riverfront. So that's the most update I can give you right now.
Have we already placed the order for the barges at this point?
No.
Okay.
No, nothing's, you guys have to make that decision, and no, nothing's been ordered, no. The other thing is, I just want to make sure wish everybody a safe 4th of July. So hopefully the weather cooperates and Greendale and surrounding areas can have their functions, so. Okay, no other announcements. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business, Del Weldon, MS4 Services.
Yes, sir, Your Honor. If it pleases Common Council, what you have in your packets is an amendment to the original MS4 contract. We are in a great position with MS4. MS4 has been in the works for a long time. It's essentially a state IDEM initiative that offloads the erosion, soil erosion monitoring for local projects. It makes it so that the local unit has to do that monitoring itself. And where IDEM used to do it before, they rolled it out in 2 phases. One was to larger cities, and then the second phase was to smaller cities. So we've been hard at work on this project with Mario Todd and John Johnson. Mike Clark even worked on it before he left. And there are a lot of benchmarks that have to be made and tons of requirements that have to be met, but they're the same for all of the cities and the county. So what we've done is we've joined forces with Greendale and Aurora and Dearborn County to form a coalition, and we've hired an advisement group that has done this. Again, for the first round, they did this for the bigger cities where they took on the duties of making sure all the compliance measures were met, all the things were drafted and turned into the state that needed to be. And so they're doing that same service for us. If you look at page 2 of the document, we're not paying the full amount. So the first round was $25,000. They billed it hourly against that. They've run out of money. And so what the county is, the coalition is asking, and Aurora and Greendale have already approved, and the county has already approved, is to add another $25,000, but our portion of that is only $6,087.12, and that money will be billed. It doesn't just go to them in a lump sum; they bill hourly against that. I talked to the county attorney today, and he believes that this will get us through the rest of the time where we need this advisory group, because eventually we'll get to the point where we're just doing it on our own. It's just we're not there yet. Another good benefit, and I talked to the county about today, is that because we're joining forces, there are folks at the county, kind of indirectly through the county, that can help us and actually take on the duty. They're going to do the whole thing, not just help us, of monitoring. So what MS4 requires is that anyone, say someone wants to build a target, all of the soil erosion regulations that IDEM has created and then IDEM used to enforce, now we enforce them. So that requires a site plan that's complies with all the soil erosion rules, pre-construction inspections, during construction inspections, and post-construction inspections. So the county is actually going to do most, if not all, of that monitoring for us, which is good because we know that permitting kind of starts on a city level and has to go through the county anyway. So it's just a way to minimize the cost. There were a few cities, I don't want to say a lot, in Indiana that kind of overreacted, I would say, and kind of spent a lot of money on MS4 in advance, like setting up a whole department, buying equipment, even leasing buildings. And we just didn't want to do that. We felt like if we can meet all of the guidelines, but minimize our costs, then we're going to be in a great position. And that's what we've been able to do. And teaming up with Aurora, Greendale, and the county has made that possible. And having this advisory group, like I said, that's done this before, has really made that happen. You'll notice people like Mike Clark or John Johnson, and then also our local storm sewer guys. So like Matt Marley and Zach Powell, they're actually going to trainings too, so they're learning how to do this again, because we'll have to kind of take that on locally once we're through this process. But this ask is our contribution for $6,087.12, and that pays in as a group to the additional $25,000 to pay the advisory group.
Question I have, haven't we given them money prior to this?
Yep. Yeah, so we gave them the first 25 and they used it, and they just bill hourly for the work. There's meetings over at the county administration building that you guys are welcome to attend, and the trainings in Indianapolis you're always welcome to attend too, just kind of learn about it.
So once they get this all put together, we will not be giving them any more money. This is not a yearly thing, in other words.
No, and that's what I asked, because I knew you guys would ask, well, are we going to have to, a year from now, are we going to have to be asked for another 25? They don't think so. They think this will get them through the rest of the project. I can't guarantee that, but that's what I've been told.
If they don't utilize all the funds, how are they then distributed back?
They should be distributed back pro rata according to the proportions that you see.
I'll give you an example. Okay, our total commitment to this will be about 11 or 12,000. And we got a quote from an engineering firm at the very beginning when everybody was freaking out about MS4. And it was like $76,000 they wanted to charge us.
Just to be a consultant.
Yeah. So, so far this has been the best route. And then like Dell said, our guys are attending the trainings and are a part of it. So then they're going to eventually have to take it over.
And it is hugely important. It's tough because, like I said, IDEM at state level used to do this monitoring. But if you think about all the hills and, you know, we've got the lowest of the low and the highest of the high in Lawrenceburg, and then everything feeds off each other. So if you think about our storm sewer system and all of the ways that we control erosion, it ends up being pretty significant. So this is a big job, but we're in place to do it really well, meet all our deadlines, and then have a system in place for the future.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the, we're going to say this is for MS4 services to OHM. Our portion will be $6,087.12 as an amendment.
Do we have the funds budgeted for this before we move forward, Fed?
We've got funds available. Okay. We can pull this probably from either.
Yeah, MS4, we
6,000.
budgeted quite a bit of money last year in MS4. We didn't use any of it, so we
Yeah, that's what
we
I-
dropped by quite a bit, so we definitely got money for the MS4.
Okay.
I think we bought a truck last year.
I think that's what we did. You're right. That's it. Yeah, you're right, we did. Good question. Any other questions? If not, entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
How about a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is Mr. Alan Weiss. CASA, thank you and update.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, council, and everyone for allowing me to speak. First of all, I want to congratulate you on your pending retirement. I'd like to make a comment that if you had stayed in Aurora Red Devil way back when, we were talking that there was a time you were an Aurora Red Devil years and years ago.
Absolutely.
If you'd have stayed there, we probably would have won more football games. But first of all, I want to thank you for your support of CASA. You've supported CASA for many years now, and I want to give you an update on your investment. First of all, we have new brochures made up by a senior South Dearborn of our youth ambassadors. Since I've taken over CASA, I've kind of looked at the whole organization from upside down, inside out, try to figure out where we need to be going in the future. And you know, we've always been about prevention. So with that said, I think we've done a pretty good job in the past, but I think we can do a lot better. And that is my goal, is to do a lot better. As my grandson, and when he plays soccer, he comes off the field and he goes, "How did I do?" I said, "You did good, but do better." And he laughs. So, you know, we've done good, but we're going to do better. So first of all, in March, we had a youth event at the event center. Had about 650, a little over that, 8th graders from the 3 junior highs throughout the county. Had a nice day. The theme was prevention. Had different areas where the kids were given a message of prevention and vaping and other different bad things that are out there. So we got through that. Shortly after that, our youth coordinator has moved on to different things. She was a young lady, still going to school at UC, and has moved on. So we have an opening there, and I will make sure we get the right person in that so we can move forward in the right direction. But with that said, I think in the right direction, we need to work on prevention big time. We have a lot of recovery programs throughout the county, throughout the state. But as I said at our last board meeting, let's put all those recovery places out of business, because let's get into the prevention to where we won't need all that stuff anymore. That's a long shot, but why not have that as a goal? So first of all, I want to let you know I'm going to be working with the school districts. I spoke with the superintendent at East Central, some in Dearborn School this morning, talking about working with youth. One program I've been on my mind to get started in the 3 schools is a SAD program, Students Against Destructive Decisions. It's a national program. We have a state organization. I've met with the state coordinator twice. I think that would be a great thing to have in all the schools. My plan is to meet with all the superintendents to see if we can get that in each of the schools. I know the Lawrenceburg superintendent, I'm sure he'll be on board with that. South Dearborn, I'm going to give him a little break. I think today was his first day on the job, so I want to wait a few weeks before I talk to him so he can get some time under his belt. But you have supported CASA very generously through the years, and we've had some ups and downs. And what I'm saying is I'm looking for any other means of support. I'm investigating different grants that are available. I had a telecon with a group out of Wisconsin that's going to get me set up with CADCA. Now, if you ask me what that means, right offhand, I can't tell you, but it's CADCA. It has something to do with prevention. So I'm looking for other ways of running our organization financially. I know that there's other organizations throughout the county that are in need at these times because a lot of these 401, 501(c) charities have been hurting since COVID. Lawrenceburg has been very generous to a lot of different charities through the years. Am I asking for continued support? Yes, I am. Am I asking for continued support forever? No, because there's a time where we need to find other ways with your support, but I just hope that you have confidence in me to continue for another year or so, but I am looking for other ways. I put in a grant just last week to REMC for a project I've started, which is anti-vaping. We have a big problem in our schools with young people vaping, and so I put together a little program. I've gotten donations from various groups in the city and in the county to help pay for some of the things I've been given. I've been getting anti-vaping kits to the schools. Got one to the high school, middle school, Central Elementary School, the community center, South Dearborn High School, South Dearborn Middle School, East Central High School, and this grant from REMC will enable me to get them into all the schools in Dearborn County. So what I'm trying to tell you is I'm not just sitting back and saying, we depend on you for everything, that I'm looking for other ways, but we still could use your continued support in the meantime. But I think we're heading the right direction. It's been a rocky road in the past few years, but I think that's in the past. We're moving right along. And if you ask me if I'm a little less stressed these days, it sure is nice being on this side of the table than that side. I do appreciate your time. Our website's being redone. That's supposed to be up and running, the new website, in the middle of the month. Working with the community center to have some after-school programs to help over there. But I'm working very hard to do what I can to help with this organization. You support it, you invest in it, I want to make it worth your while. So thank you very much.
Thank
Any questions?
Well, thank you, Alan. I tell you, 2 years ago, and well, everybody, but I guess it'd probably be Dylan, he's the new councilman, but 2 years ago during budget times, I met with all of our nonprofits.
Yep.
And sort of gave them a heads up that, you know, we were going to have to cut a little bit,
Right.
and we did at the time. But going forward, it can't be a long-term thing to go. You know,
No.
they can't depend on it.
No.
And we understood at that time, and the council understood. You know, hey, we can't just cut people off. They got to find other avenues to get their support, which you're doing with
Right.
with CASA. But I've been telling other directors and such of the nonprofits that we support, that, you know, we want to be there to help, but we can't be your lifeline forever, because our funds keep, you know, go down. We got to watch that as well. So, but I thank you for your message.
And I understand that yous have been our lifeline. And just be blunt with you, that, is it right or is it wrong? Well, I
We
don't,
were happy to do it. We were happy we can do it, but
it was very much appreciative, but I think it was taken for granted. And I think it's time for CASA to do what it can to find other means of financing its programs. And there are things out there, and so I'm working on that. But in the meantime, you know, if you can still give us that little lifeline, but I will keep you informed of what I'm doing. And I'd like to meet with you quarterly to give you an update on how we're doing. And if that's good with you. So,
thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Appreciate it. Okay. Next item is under me. I've spoken with Judy McAdams as well over at Edinburgh. I believe our income limits over there right now is, I believe it's 40,000. What I'd like you all to think about doing and approving is to raise that to 50,000, based upon a number of things. Number one, you know, there have been some increases in Social Security and such. That's putting some people up to that limit of 40, and we just want to make it, you know, to where it's an affordable place over there. But we want to make sure we're sort of in line with other income limits for those types of facilities, and we think that bumping that to 50,000 is pretty close to being in line. So. Concerns, questions about that?
Can we bump it to the 50,000 and adjust it, have Judy adjust it annually according to the COLA for SSI? That way we don't get into this situation in the future, and then it's adjusting according to the Social Security, is why I ask.
So you're saying bump it up now and then have annual increases?
According
Based
to COLA.
upon the COLA, yeah.
Because that's easy, accessible information off of Social Security.
Using the federal COLA.
Yes.
Right? Okay. I like the idea.
Yeah.
You know, if it's
Fair.
0.8%, you raise
Yeah.
it to 2.8% plus 50,000, you know, whatever that.
And then we don't have to come back to do this every 3
Mhm.
years.
Concerns, questions?
That seems the fairest way to handle it.
How about if I say this then? I'll entertain a motion to increase the annual income limit at the Edinburgh apartments to 50,000, and then starting next year, it will be adjusted by whatever the COLA, the federal COLA is. It will be adjusted in addition to that 50,000.
Thank you.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Y'all see the donation committee recommendations in front of you. We did not recommend anyone, so any questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the donation committee recommendations.
So moved, Mayor.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. The next, I just want to give you an update. Had a really, really good meeting. You know, we've been looking at Durbin Plaza senior housing for, well, we've applied 4 years. This is our 4th time to apply for tax credits. Had a really good meeting the week before last, before I left for vacation, I guess it was, with our rep from Flaherty & Collins, who is an for what they call the QAP, which is the grid that they use to grade this competitive grant for tax credits. It looks as if we are grading very high. This QAP this year is being written. It's a one-year QAP that's going to be more designed towards rural communities and small communities. Wow, I mean, it fits us pretty good. We also are, Mr. Messmore has been working with the Ready 2 folks in the area, because we get an X number of points if we get to be one of their projects as well, and that's looking very favorably. So we're really excited about this. July 29th, I believe, is when the application for the tax credits will go in, and we will know in November is what they're telling us. But we could have 52, 54 units over there. Once we get a thumbs up and an okay, then you guys will be heavily involved. But the first thing is to get approved, and that's something we haven't been very successful at, but not for the lack of trying. So just wanted to give you an update on that. Don't need to do anything with that one. The other thing is that it actually goes along with this. The pilot agreement and ordinance. Pilot is payment in lieu of tax. That's an agreement that's going to, and Dell, you might be able to explain this better than I can, but this is going to be an agreement that this, whenever any pilot money is approved and granted, it goes directly to the city. It's sort of like TIF, but also, although our area over there is TIF anyway, but it's sort of like TIF, but it then has to go into what they call an affordable housing fund, which we'll have to set up, Mark, at some point. But and then every year, whatever that agreement is, if it's $100 per unit and there's 50, let's say 50 units, then it's $5,000 a year. They pay directly to the city. It goes in this fund. Okay, and it can only be used for those types of projects, affordable housing, which is a good thing. So anyway, that's what the pilot agreement is, and then if we agreed to that, we got to put an ordinance in place, and that's what you have in front of you as well.
What's the good point of doing that instead of just keeping it in the TIF area?
Well,
It'll be both, won't it?
no. What happens? Pilot is a payment in lieu of tax instead of tax, and what happens? It makes, well, it's part of the competitive. What do you call it? Am I saying this right?
It gives us more points in the scoring process, so it makes it more likely that we're gonna get the 9% tax credit. So if we approve this, we'll be maxed out on points, we've been told.
Yeah.
Well, the maximum amount of points.
It's another way. We had, in the past, when we had done these tax credit programs, we didn't, there weren't these extra availabilities for points, such as Ready. And we weren't aware of the pilot. It could have been there, but maybe our people we were working with didn't make us aware of it or whatever. But they made us aware of this, so we want to go after as many points as we can, because we want to make sure. I think last time we missed out by 4 points is what I was told. But and it just depends who applies for these. I mean, they're competitive. We can set all this up and we could get denied again, and then everything just goes back down. But so that's the whole reason for that. Good question, Tony.
I'm confused on how this actually all goes down. This is in the redevelopments, under redevelopment now, right? They own the property?
They own the property, but it's a city project with redevelopment.
And
But it'll be,
ordinances we go.
Yeah.
it'll be a private development, won't it, with the?
Yes, we will not own it.
So,
So then how does that work with the special funding that we're going after?
Well, the special funding goes, we're applying for the tax credits on behalf of the
Contractor.
contractor, okay? our contribution, I didn't bring the paper, is gonna be the land,
Okay,
okay? And then it could be, the most it could be is, I don't believe it's 686,000 is what, the most we have to pay, unless we don't get the $250,000 from Ready. We applied for a $250,000 Ready grant.
okay.
If we don't get that, it would be 250 plus the 680 something.
Out of the total, what's
Out of the total-
cost of the project?
The total cost of the project is gonna be about $15 million.
So that, the tax credit financing pays for all of that. Our contribution, like the mayor said, is limited to that smaller amount. That's why tax credit is favorable.
Yeah, well, and that's only, no, it's favorable to the developer, because the developer can't go out and spend, they can't make it affordable housing if they're putting the $15 million to it.
Do we already have a developer, or is it going to be
Yeah, it'll
bid
be
out?
Flaherty and Collins.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. We had we were working with a group last 3 years up here in Cincinnati, and we decided let's try a different avenue, because we got turned down the last 3 years. I don't believe it was any part of their problem or fault. I really don't. And it could be, it's all timing. It's all timing, so.
So this is just one more thing we can do to help boost our points up, in
Yeah.
addition to all.
The pilot
stuff we've
is.
been-
Well, and then the other reason why is so we should start getting payments from Flaherty for the West High Street project as well in November, correct?
We already,
Tax payments.
We've already,
Yes.
we already do.
Already, yeah.
I thought we haven't.
What we received amount of, we haven't received the full amount because basically it's based on last year's taxes, which we received this year. So we will
It will be-
receive it this year.
well, there was an issue with the assessment of that as well.
Well, they challenged it.
Yeah,
They appealed it, but we have a minimum.
That goes into effect next year. So what you're asking, Dylan, is the tax minimum that we negotiate in the contract, that goes into effect next year. So if it's assessed lower than that minimum, they still have to pay the minimum. The reason it didn't go into effect yet is because and we've met with the assessor a bunch of times and expressed our strong disagreement with how it was assessed, but, you know.
Are we able to challenge that next year?
We can't, so we
There's
don't
no
have
challenge- there's no-
standing to challenge.
There's no mechanism for, and I've got our lobbyists working on this. There's no mechanism for a municipality to challenge an appeal on a tax on a commercial property. You know, as a resident, you have this mechanism to appeal your taxes. But we, as a municipality, thinking, okay, somebody on the commercial side is appealing these and they're getting this granted, we can have no way to
Yeah.
argue that,
It
right?
affects our TIF and everything
Absolutely
else.
does, absolutely.
But we've been to the county building screaming and yelling, and
Yeah.
that's about all we can.
And that minimum, by the way, is 300,000 a year.
Yeah,
Minimum.
that was my only concern, is I want to make sure we get those payments. I would hate to partner with another,
Yeah, and it's not them,
yeah,
it's the,
the agreement.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, they haven't done anything wrong. And the reason it happened the first year.
We
was
wouldn't
got
either. We wouldn't want to
assessed
partner
before
with
it was
them either.
complete. And then they assess, the county is bound by state law that forces them to assess apartment complexes based on the units, and just a weird formula that we don't agree with, but that's why, thank goodness, we got that tax floor end of the deal. And that.
Yeah, it is a good
Then
thing.
we don't have to worry about what the assessor does.
Right.
Will we do something similar with this development?
No, because it's not going to be in TIF, it's going to be the pilot.
Pilot,
Yeah, and that's the best way for us to get the,
the grant funding, that's fine. Yeah, I was just curious.
points.
no, I
Yeah.
know where your head's going. I mean, you're thinking long-term, and, yeah, I get it. Yep. Good questions, any other questions?
How long is this pilot agreement?
It'll last 30 years.
30 years.
30 years?
And the reason for that is the tax credits last for 30 years, so it tracks them.
It tracks with those, yeah.
Hey, you gotta give up something to get something.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Well, this is something we've been trying to get for,
Yeah, we need an apartment
We need it.
complex over there.
yeah. Okay. All right, so the first thing, any other questions? The first thing we're going to need to vote on is
Say
the,
ordinance first, Mayor, and then,
do the ordinance first?
yes, sir, if it pleases your honor, I know they're in there backwards, and I apologize for that.
Oh, okay.
That's my,
Ordinance number
8.
8. Okay.
And we always do this, but just to remind everyone, we'd have 2 votes essentially. One is to introduce this at first reading by title only, and then we are also able to approve this on first reading if the vote's unanimous. If it's not unanimous, no big deal, we would do a second reading at the next meeting. So we kind of package that, but that's how we do all of our ordinance approvals, just to remind everybody.
Okay, I couldn't have said any better, I guess.
Thank you. You could have, but,
So if by chance this doesn't go through in November, we just,
Oh, yeah, then it's,
oh yeah, it won't happen.
hey, don't talk like that.
Well,
Yeah.
so question on that, I mean, if it doesn't go through in December, we've talked about potentially moving forward other directions.
We can talk about that then.
With the same project, would there still be the pilot, or would we?
Oh, no, that'll,
Okay.
it starts all over, and then you're talking about a larger, significant amount of money from us.
Well, and that's what my concern is if we're going to, I didn't want to get locked into this for 30 years to say we.
This doesn't have.
Oh, no, that's just only if it goes, only if the tax credits go through, is if the pilot
Okay.
comes through. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
But if the tax credits don't go through, the pilot doesn't go through.
Okay. Sounds good. Just wanted to make sure.
Yep. Any other questions? All right. With all that said, if, I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 8-2024 upon first reading, only if it is unanimous this evening.
I will make that motion.
I'll second.
Second, who seconded, Tony?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
We just note for the record, what was the number, Mark?
8.
8, thank you. So it's ordinance number 8-2024, an ordinance requiring Durbin FC LP to make payments in lieu of taxes on parcel number 15-07-14-302-050.000-026. So that's the title of the ordinance, and we introduced it. The reading was just by title only. We're permitted to do.
And approved.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Okay.
Your Honor.
All right. Now, do we have to do something with this agreement?
Yes,
too?
sir. The agreement is referenced in the ordinance, but I would
Right.
ask for a vote to approve the agreement as well.
Questions?
These are the specific formalities of how the pilot statute works, and then how it would work in relation to between the city and the developer of the tax credit finance senior housing property.
Okay. Any questions, comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the pilot agreement between the Lawrenceburg, Indiana City Council and Durbin FCLP.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second.
Who was down here? I
was
heard
me.
some there. Were you first, Tony? Second?
Tony, then I, yeah.
Okay. Second?
Yeah,
All-
I have one question.
Yeah.
We don't have to have the or not plan commission, but redevelopment stated in that order, in that agreement as well? Just the city and them?
Yep.
Okay.
And you asked.
That's where I'm somewhat confused,
point.
because that is their property, so to speak.
And you asked that good question before, and we didn't really answer it, and I apologize. But yeah, anything like this has to be between the city.
Okay.
It can't, redevelopment doesn't have the power to do.
Okay,
the
that's
pilot. Only the
my
city
thing
does.
right there.
That's why we're doing
That was some of my confusion, because the way, let's just go with the Davis property that we just transferred to them. The
Right.
city did,
Yeah,
which I'm going.
Now, at some point,
okay.
would we have to, we wouldn't have to, we'll be transferring the property to contractor, right?
Yep.
At some
Yep.
point.
Yep.
Okay.
But the city with redevelopment will be doing that. Transferring it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just thought maybe
Right.
redevelopment had to do that, not us. That's where I got stuck.
Yep.
They just can't negotiate anything with the pilots or the ordinances. You guys have to do that.
All in favor, aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And this is the first time we've done this. So, I mean,
Yeah, it's a little,
it's a good question.
it was a head scratcher when I was reading to it.
No, it's a good question.
A head like that, I'd scratch.
I've got one thing that's not on that I got sent to me in the mail. We do it every year, but Special Olympics, we do the fire truck pole. We're always the title sponsor, $2,500. And I wanted to get your guys' approval to do that. Any question? That's on Saturday, August 10th this year.
I'll make the motion, Mayor.
All right.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. I have no other new business. Anyone have any old business that I didn't cover?
I would just like to ask Mr. Weldon how we're doing with the deed transfer of the Davis property to the redevelopment.
We talked to Archie last week, and we are moving, and it's not done yet. The holdup was we had to split the property. So the parcels that make up the antique market and Strong's are now going to be 2 parcels. And
Okay.
so we had to split those. We had to grant some easements in between the properties so that if it's ever split up, and we had to give the city some easements. So I think it's ready to go, but I'll double check that for you. I know as of last week, we were still working on it, but I'll double check and I'll give you an answer.
Okay, appreciate it.
Yep.
That's all I have.
Any other questions? If not, entertain comments from the audience. Yes, ma'am?
Will the people like us have an opportunity to tour the Liberty Theater?
They're going to have an open house. Yes. You won't be able to before construction, so to speak, but yes, they're going to have an open house. They're going to, I think they're looking at that maybe the last week of August, maybe.
Okay.
I was over today. They say September 6th. I don't know, man. There's a lot to
Got a
do.
lot of work.
I was over there last week before I went to Missouri.
What do you think?
A lot of work.
They got a lot of work. They still have to pay.
It's really it really
Yeah.
looks great, but
Let's be positive.
I'm being positive. I told
tell you what, I was
Dan
over 2
McCabe
weeks
I have a wedding there, so
better be positive.
I hope so.
That's what Messmore would say if he was here, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, exactly.
It's surprising how fast they're coming. I was over
Yeah,
2 weeks
that's true.
ago and then went over again. They're getting a lot done in a short period of time.
It doesn't look like Liberty Theater.
Now,
Did he tell you the color he was painting the inside?
What's that?
Did he tell you the color that he's painting the inside? It's like a burnt orange.
Oh, really?
It'll be really, yeah, it'll be,
They were painting the stage today,
yeah, it'll be really nice.
so. Okay. Any other comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the claims.
so move.
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to approve all payroll reports and checks once properly certified.
So move, Mayor.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Before we adjourn, I want to make you guys aware the Ames Conference this year is in October. I think it's 7th, 8th, and 9th or something. Joy will be getting information, but she'll probably be contacting you guys soon to see if you're going to want rooms, because as soon as the room blocks come out, she's going to have to put in for them. So put that on your, thank the.
Where's it at?
Yeah, they're hosting
It's in
that.
Fort Wayne this year.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not in.
It's in Fort Wayne. So that's, she'll be contacting you guys. See
We'll all get a bus and go together.
room or not. That's about 4-hour trip up there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you feel every minute of it too.
Yeah.
That's a rough drive. And you pass a lot of horse-drawn carriages.
They used to have a lot of potholes up there.
They still do.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't. All right, how about a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. See ya, everyone. Thank you for coming. Be safe going home.